South Africans are heavily indebted. The credit industry is very different to what it was before COVID-19. Lenders are on edge and available credit has reportedly decreased by 30 to 40%. We speak more about the impact of the lockdown. We're joined now by Bongani Gwexe from the National Credit Regulator. Very good afternoon to you and thank you very much for your time. Just how heavily indebted are we? How bad is the situation?
Well, thank you very much for having us. The situation that we see is showing that a lot of consumers are experiencing difficult times, in particular during the lockdown, because number of people who applied for credit during the lockdown, particularly level 5 and level 4, declined drastically. The numbers moved from 126 billion per quarter to about 54 billion per quarter. To us as a regulator, that told us that a lot of things are not what we think they are. For example, there was always a belief that a lot of people are applying now online and they are using technology to apply for credit. But numbers show that no, a lot of people, they still prefer to apply to credit by going to the branch and talk to a bank manager or a consultant. As a result, a lot of people didn't apply for credit during that time. But even after we moved to level 1, level 3, the numbers increased, but that number is still way lower than what it was in 2019. So it's showing that a lot of people, they applied for credit, but a lot of them were rejected. For example, about 64% of people were not approved for their application, meaning even lenders are not really open to give out a lot of credit because everyone is uncertain of the current situation because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Right, so it is a tough time all round. What are people applying for? Like, what do they need the money for?
Well, mainly people, they applied. What we saw once we moved to level 4 and the president announced that car dealers can be open, we noticed that a lot of people, they went there, they applied for a lot of vehicles and also the commonly personal loans, which is unsecured, which a lot of people, they use for mainly for day-to-day living, if I may put it like that, like to buy food or to transport or to go to school. It's mainly those three, which is mortgages, buying houses, and also buying vehicles, and the third is unsecured, which is personal loans. Most people are taking those type of credit for their own living.
So from the most important to the most mundane things that people are applying for. So what happens when you're not able to pay back that money, when people default on their loans? Then they come and they pick up the car or they come and they repossess the house. What can you do as a creditor?
No, mainly as a consumer, what you do, once you can see that you are unable to repay the loan as agreed with your credit provider, what you must do, you must contact, we encourage all consumers to contact their credit provider or where you borrowed money or where you bought your car from. You talk to them, you tell them your current situation, that you are unable to meet the agreed obligations. Most of the time, they will sit down with you, then they will work out a new way of paying. It's either they lengthen your time of paying or they try up with some mechanism that you can be able to pay. Remember, for example, banks are not in the business of selling cars. They are financing cars. So it doesn't serve them to repossess cars because also it brings a lot of legal processes and all of that. So they will assist you to try by all means at least to get something from you. Failing which, as a National Credit Regulator, we say contact a registered debt canceller that will assist you with that process to avoid your assets being repossessed or being blacklisted at the credit bureaus. So that's a process that you must follow. But firstly, contact your credit providers. They are always willing to listen to you. For example, we saw in level 5 and level 4 in particular, a lot of credit providers, they gave consumers payment holidays. So they said, no, because we are unable to get income during this time because your company is closed or you are retrenched or your salary has been cut, at least don't pay us this month or pay us a certain percentage this month so that you can be able to recover going forward. So generally what we've experienced is that credit providers are always willing to assist consumers at all times.
Bongani Gwexe from the National Credit Regulator, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.